Welcome to game 2 of the series. Again, VonIvan with a 489 VP victory there in game 1. Proving
We have more conscripts at our disposal.
quite formidable. Paul will have to somehow beat that here in game 2. He's sending his combat engineers straight for the cutoff here in the opening of the game, and VonIvan is going to go mechanized assault. So he's probably going to give Paul a taste of his own medicine there. He's probably going to be fielding lots of Stuggies this game. I know VonIvan is a fan.
Conscripts have arrived. We have
Raising his Stuggies, and Assault Grenadiers are on their way towards the north to get this fuel point. Piles on their way towards the right, get that under their control. Combat Engineers just wiring everything off here initially while Paul goes with the 2 conscript opening. I don't know if he's going to go tier 1 on this map. Seen him do it before. He's got Tank Hunter, Armored Assault, Shock Rifle.
This is a nice spot of land, and it is ours. We have liberated the objective.
Assault Grenadiers making their way towards Munitions Point. Kyo's moving to take control of the VP here.
I felt that one go right by me! Germany now holds the victory point.
The enemy is attempting to steal our sector.
2 squads of conscripts in the north. Assault Grenadiers make it to the green cover position first. Paul will disengage, find other opportunities. 3rd squad will probably get the point here decapped, trying to only engage with superior numbers if he can. Optimal range. Grenadiers still defending this approach as Paul circles around towards the fuel point here. Combat Engineers will continue advancing across the south and have taken a lot of territory actually. Paul will get a lot of resource income from just strategic points for now. 26 and 31. VonIvan struggling for fuel a little bit, not able to get this point captured. Conscripts find a 2v1 opportunity against Grenadiers right there, but the Assault Grens are going to sprint into close range. They'll be forced to switch targets and force that squad away.
We have a fresh Grenadier squad.
And the Grenadiers continue firing at range for a little while with only 3 models. 4th Conscript Squad, however, arrives to support from this direction, and it looks like Paul will take the engagement. All Grenadiers and Assault Grenadiers here forced to retreat. The other 2 squads may not be able to win against this volume of cons.
We are losing a sector.
Oh my god, Lumpy gets me every time. Fuck.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
Conscripts reinforcing here in the base. And taking control here in the north.
Einsatzbereit.
Grenadiers are making their way across, maybe able to get control of this cutoff.
Grenadiers ready. Heads down! We've added to the fatherland. Grenadiers! Contact! No! Yes?
And Paul is actually throwing some barbed wire down right here. Got interrupted. I think he was trying to prevent the usage of that very narrow approach right there. Assault Grenadiers take control of the central structure, and they are going to get flamed out by Combat Engineers. Assault Grenadiers going down very fast. Will be forced away from this engagement. Paul leaves the building with that squad of conscripts, continues his chase. Almost actually even picks up that wipe. Only 1 man gets away.
Soviet forces are engaging us!
Conscripts continue moving up into close range engagements against VonIvan's Grenadiers here. VonIvan going very hard into Tier 1, 5 Grenadiers, plus of course the usage of this squad and a flamethrower pile, giving him a lot of infantry to Paul's only 4 conscripts. He stopped fielding infantry for a little while here. VonIvan spending every last drop of his manpower while Paul starts floating up for shock troops. Shock troops of course are going to help him significantly against just hard Grenadier spam, especially on this map. Could be a crit right there. Nope. Squad gets away.
We are losing a sector. The Russians are attacking!
You have orders? We have a full complement! We have the sector! Experience is the best teacher! Getting a bit loud here!
Assault Grenadiers forced to retreat again. Shock troops making a pretty dramatic entrance have already forced one retreat. Paul still has the central building and is working on these Grenadiers. Conscripts working on the right side fuel point while the flamethrower makes its way towards the right side. Shock troops force another retreat on these Grens. Haven't dropped a model yet. Forced 2 retreats already. Not inflicting too much manpower bleed though. VonIvan paying pretty close attention to that squad and making sure everything retreats before it gets into too close range. He will restore control of the south cutoff and get resources coming in once again. Paul not wanting to advance against 2 squads of Grenadiers there in green cover without superior numbers, just going to continue working on the north here. He leaves his own green cover position to try to make a play for this cutoff once again. Will of course interrupt the progress on that teller mine right there, trying to throw a teller mine in the road. Maybe catch Paul off guard a little bit. Shock troops take heavy damage from Assault Grenadiers and a flamethrower right there. Assault Grenadiers also forced to retreat. So, wow, that squad almost didn't make it home. I don't know if it's going to. Grenadiers with the snipe. So close. Wow. This squad also being forced to retreat, and both players have to micro a flamethrower fight, which is very important to be paying attention to at all times. It looks like VonIvan pulled ahead, and everything Paul has in 3 different locations is forced to retreat, but it looks like everything is going to maybe get away. Flamethrower also gets away by a tiny sliver. Conscripts also get away by a tiny sliver. But VonIvan is winning this game, taking control of the entire map. He has so many Grenadiers. A 5 Grenadier opening plus his Assault Grenadiers plus his Flamethrower is going to result in extremely late tech. He doesn't even have a bunker. Very first structure he builds this game is going to be, well, other than his Tier 1, is going to be his healing bunker, no Tier 2, and no, certainly no Tier 3, even 9 minutes into the game.
We have lost a squad.
There goes a Grenadier squad though on that demo charge. Paul get a return on that investment. Easy pickup. Shock troops advancing across the southwest road, or center road. Force a retreat from those Grenadiers. It looks like VonIvan is going to make a full retreat, in fact. He didn't, by the way, he didn't even finish that teller mine. You might want to cancel that, get those munitions back.
Enemy is taking our territory. We are losing a sector. The new Grenadier squad is ready.
Conscripts move to take control of various territories. There's 1 squad of Grenadiers left doing some harassment. This retreat path may be compromised right now. Shock troops find a bit of an opportunity on Assault Grenadiers. They'll be forced to retreat.
Pioneers awaiting orders.
They're shooting at the shed.
And VonIvan will get his forces back out of the base here as well, all fully reinforced, but no healing yet. He doesn't quite have the munitions. His fuel isn't looking super great either.
Opponents are seizing a sector.
Neither is Paul's. Although Paul will definitely make it to Collins. VonIvan, if he wants to make use of the Stugi, will be quite delayed in getting a Tiger, and I assume VonIvan is going to go with the Stupid.
We may now call in Model E assault guns, Commander.
Shock troops almost pick up a wipe right there. They don't want to leave their green cover position. By engaging at medium range, they're not doing that much damage, but enough to convince those grenadiers to leave the victory point, the fuel point. Toss smoke right there. I'm not sure why. Conscripts moving up from this angle. Shock troops circling around, trying getting close range on the building. Meanwhile, in the southwest, Flamethrower has forced away the lone squad of Grenadiers and is going to start getting control of this territory back. Successful decap of that cutoff there briefly as well. Finally, the Stug arrives, making its way towards the middle. A couple squads of Grenadiers did have to retreat from those shock troops, working their way around the flank, and Paul takes full control of this area, but the Stug drives straight up, starts working on these conscripts. They will retreat, take one loss before getting the AT grenade off right there, and Paul's already gone tier 2 for the AT gun. I'm pretty sure he knows what his opponent is going to do this game. And 2 combat engineers continue making their way across the south to get all of that under control.
How can we help?
We are losing a sector.
Here comes Ivan!
Those Grenadiers might kill everybody. That Flamethrower squad hadn't moved at the very last second right there. Thought everything was gonna die. Grenadier squad gets wiped on that mine. Very sneaky. Managed to get that plan over VonIvan, was not paying attention to that engagement. Flamethrower will fully repair the Stug, however. It's available for more engagements. The AT gun makes its way onto the road, but it's not quite in range yet. Another AT grenade from that squad to damage the Stug's engine and force further repairs. Put it in danger of the AT gun if it can get a shot off. Needs to continue its advance though. AT gun gets well into range. The Stug is not going to be able to get clear, and it is destroyed. It took engine damage too many times for too long, and it goes down, and Paul will probably pull well into the lead with that pickup. He's not far at all from a KV-8, which could inflict massive havoc on VonIvan, who does not even have tier 2 constructed. Probably not be able to survive the rest of this game, but fortunately for VonIvan, the battle for faction selection is already won. Paul had to beat a 489 VP victory, unfortunately, even as he takes full control of the game here. He has lost too many. He's fallen down 481 VPs, and despite it being a very close race for faction selection, VonIvan has won it, so even if he loses this game, going into the ace game, we will see VonIvan with faction selection. Incendiary artillery being dropped right there.
The sector has been cut off.
And everything will be forced to retreat.
The enemy is taking our territory. The territory is out of contact.
Grenadiers ready. That's it, fully reinforced. Flammenwerfer! He's dead! Grenadiers here! Arms incoming! So much blood! Our minds will find them.
Here's the KV-8 to try and finish the job.
Base is under attack.
VonIvan still boxed completely into his base. We'll send a couple of squads south, but probably just a matter of time before this KV-8 annihilates everything VonIvan has. His tier 2 is in progress. So
Heidi is ready for anything.
Our opponents are seizing a sector.
finally it completes. It does not even have the manpower for an
Enemy
AT
is gaining
gun.
a foothold. We are down to 300. Our HQ is under attack.
Our squad has been honored by bravery.
KV-8 working on this base structure. T-gun doing so from range as well. Just slowly burning his tier 1 down. Double KV-8 for Paul. If this tier 1 is destroyed, VonIvan will not have access to the Panzerfaust. Flamethrower seems to be having trouble getting through this shrub though.
We must defend our headquarters.
Another mine in the south blows up a flamethrower squad. And possibly also some grenadiers? I'm not sure what had. I think a squad just got wiped right there. I feel like that mine was extremely
Infantry
devastating.
Squad has been killed.
Full squad wiped right there as well. VonIvan continues to be contained to his base with no hope of getting a Tiger on the field.
The enemy is attempting. Foes are behind our lines. Headquarters attacked. The peg gun is ready.
There goes the base bunker.
Panzer! We're taking Panzer fire! Enemy is taking losses!
We are suffering losses. Foes are behind our lines. Headquarters attacked.
I'm taking casualties!
We are losing.
One
a
AT
sector.
gun manages to make it onto the field before the tier 2 is destroyed, but clearly this game is
Sturmgeschütz is
long
ready
over.
for use.
They're giving us armadillo!
And I'm expecting VonIvan to pick Soviets in game 3, probably. Well, I guess I'm not honestly 100% sure of that. Probably what we're going to be looking at though. I wonder if Paul is going to switch to close air support instead of mechanized assault. Most importantly, I wonder if Paul is going to be able to keep a cool temperament. That's going to be important in taking this ace game, maintaining the throne. GG. And see what happens in game 3.